That's even more money. At
it went up. So
at $10 a month, at $120 a year, if you went through all of Street Fighter 5, that's $720. Bro, that's a PC right there. Yeah. Holy shit. This was actually something I wanted to bring up last week, but obviously I wasn't here for it. But you know, there's still like a lot of there's still a division in fighting games right now when it comes to console versus PC. It's pretty prevalent. I'm big on the PC side of things. I think it's the best option for the player. Like competitively, there might be like there's an argument to be made because PS5 latency is a little bit better. It's within the realm of you know, the actual realm of error, like margin of error between them, but like with recent issues with like what happened at Evo with like how many PlayStations, right, were melting USB ports and such. You know, I'm big on PC because I just want my PC. I want to be able to do whatever I want with my hardware. I don't want it to get just stuck on one thing. I like flexibility, I like utility. There's so much more you can do with it. You don't just have to just play fighting games on it. I mean, you can say that with consoles as well, but you get a lot more benefits from the PC. You can do mods, stuff like that. Like there's already benefits there. Most recently, the other argument for me is what's happened with, you know, PlayStation Plus recently, right? The big difference when it came to PC to consoles is that, right, like if you take it as face value, we're like, oh, you pay for the console, you pay for the PC, you pay for your monitors, you pay for your peripherals, blah blah blah, you get the same experience more or less. But the big difference is that for PC, you never ever had to pay an extra premium or an extra price in order to take whatever game that you've already purchased and take it online, right? Consoles, it's always been the way with consoles since Xbox Live, right? It's you pay a subscription, you pay for a membership, and that allows the console to actually go online. And in order for you to play ranked, in order to play whatever casuals, in order for you to play some games that you need an online access to, you are required to have these kinds of subscriptions. Most recently, you know, if you've been in the know how PlayStation Plus has had the PlayStation Plus subscription go up. It has gone like from 12 month for like the essential, which is like the cheapest one. It's going from like $59.99 to $79.99. That's the 12-month subscription. Then there's the plus, then there's the premium, which can go as high as $160, which is up from $120. So it's like a $40 price on like the top tier, and 20, I think it's 20 respectively, or 20 and 40 on the other ones. And it's like the amount of time that we play, because fighting games, we'll play them well after the wheels have fallen off and the game is done. You know, you'll still see the people that are playing it. Fightcade is the, you know, when people say like, how long could you honestly be playing a fighting game for? I just point to Fightcade and be like, go fucking talk to those people, because, you know, these are cats that are still running a gun in games that are, oh God, 30 years old, right? Like, and still playing online, being developed to play online and such. But they don't have to pay a premium for that. So like, I'm just adding this to kind of like the additional argument of like, PC is like, I think just better for the player, because that is just extra money you don't have to shell out. Because even if you think about it, say what was the lifespan for Street Fighter 5? Street Fighter 5 was what 2015? 2016 to 2023. No, 23. It's this year.
It felt way.
Technically this year. Remember, it ended in May because 6 came out in June. But let's say 2022, just for argument's sake. So 6 years, right? 6 years, and if you're a competitive player, you're online the entire time. You're playing. You're going to play online the entire way. So you want to be up on your PlayStation Plus, your Xbox Live, right? We're going to keep it to PlayStation Plus right now. PlayStation Plus, let's say you took the cheapest option, $60 a year. 6 years. That is $360. My math is correct. $360 you spent just so you could go online. While as the argument could be like, oh, well, PC is a bigger entry point. right? It takes more money to get in, which isn't necessarily like a real argument nowadays. You can really get by with really cheap stuff, especially if you're very savvy. You can haggle, you can just find stuff on the cheap. It's a very different ecosystem compared to just like buying a console either new or used. $360, even if you say the prices are higher, that $360 that console players unnecessarily have to pay, you can add that to the equation and give that credit to a PC and still get like a solid video. You get a 20 series, 2070 or something right now, like $360. Let me see, GPU. Let me see, $360.
Go to 1050 Ti. That's good enough.
1050 Ti. You right now can get you get an RTX 3060, which I know it's a 3060, but it's like 12 gigs. You could do a solid 1440p experience, but you're gonna be running. That's $300. That's still an extra $60 for like fucking an extra controller, an extra a Brooks converter if you need it, because you have to now go to fucking tournaments and your stick maybe isn't just meant for PlayStation. It's a I don't know, a flat box or a custom stick or whatever. Pay your $50 now. You can play it your stick anywhere. It still covers that charge. But like I said, 3060, you can get a 2070. You can set 1080 Ti. Is still very much like you can still make it work, especially for fighting games, because fighting games. Don't get me wrong, some of them look amazing. More of the time, I'm thinking nowadays, like the NRS game is gonna be insane. I don't know if you looked at the minimum requirements or the recommended requirements. Street Fighter 6, you don't need a whole lot to run on. There's potato mods. Where there's a will, there's a way. But if you want the entire experience, $360 can pay for your GPU easy. While as you're paying that on the console to just be online. This is not I'm not putting this as a reason to just be like, hey, consoles suck. There are places. Some people can't get PC parts. Some people don't have access to it. Maybe they're still too pricey. The market gets crazy. But this hike has just kind of emphasized that idea. I'm like, man, I really enjoy playing on PC even more because I don't like having to shell out extra money just so I could have a simple service like going online on a game that I've already been purchased. So it's like kind of a win-win.
I mean, okay, I'll give a little pushback, and I understand why people may not want to pay, like, let's say, like, they pay the $160 for the premium for PSN Plus, right? Which I think is absurd. But, like, if you're like us, who we buy a bunch of Steam games and probably never play them, but we always have access to them, granted, we don't have to keep paying to have access, but a lot of these people who may play a lot of games and like to keep cycling through, they do have that game catalog, so you're being charged for the catalog and discounted on some of the games that you're going to buy, which is weird to me. But you do get that accessibility to kind of like try before you buy or just turn it off, which, I mean, this whole cloud streaming thing is kind of I feel like it's a little outdated at this point in time, because when you're on PC, you just buy the game or you find it for cheaper online and then you're good. It's yours forever. It's not like you have to streamline it for $100+ But I think console is just easy accessibility.
Yeah,
so
you don't have to
build your computer.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I really think people should stop just flat out, unless it's a laptop, stop buying PCs from these random Dell products from Best Buy. If you're gonna invest, you might as well buy and build yourself or have somebody help you, because I just think that's when the cost starts hiking up and not making sense.
Yeah, because there's a premium. Sometimes you do get a deal though with some of those all-in those system integrators and such. There's definitely deals. There's that in itself is an argument that we could go down all day.
But I just think people should know, like, but you're like, versus a console, you kind of just get that, like, it's all in one. It's everything. You don't have to upgrade it. You don't have to downgrade it. Everything's just there. So I kind of understand the accessibility.
Yeah,
the one-time payment for that, and then I'm going online. Like, I don't have online for PSN, right? But if I was to get it, it's just $10 a month, or I pay the $60 for the 12 months, and then I forget about it, right? But you still got to buy games, and I that's what I said before. I was like, $100 for Mortal Kombat's kind of high.
Wait, it's $10 a month for you?
If you just get the base plan, just to be able to go on the internet to play.
Oh, what? Wait, how come that's $10 a month while the year was like $60?
So if you do, there's Essentials Extra and a Premium.
Yeah.
The month-to-month payments are $10 a month. The 3-month is 25, and then the 12-month is just 80 in total.
Huh. Okay, so that's because they lock you in
So
that way. Okay,
like that's how that's how they get you for the 12 months.
They give
But,
you a
like,
little cheaper on it. Gotcha.
But like people are gonna, I mean, more hardcore console players are gonna be like, you know what, I'm all in. So let me just get the extra, the premium for 12 months. I'm never gonna look at it for the next 12
that's
months.
crazy though, because if
So,
someone doesn't
it's
think
a
about
lot.
that and they go like, I'm just gonna pay the $10 a month and they have it as a reoccurring payment, they're actually paying $120 a year
Yeah.
for even the cheapest one. It might not, you know, it's like your Netflix subscription or whatever, or maybe a subscription you don't know. You're just like, whatever, and it just pulls from your account and you don't really think about it. Bro, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
They're-
even
you're
more
getting-
money. At
Remember, it went
120
up. So
at $10 a month, at $120 a year, if you went through all of Street Fighter 5, I lost track of what I was. Not lost track, but I lost track of my numbers. That's $720. Bro, that's a PC right there. Holy shit. Holy
I mean, you
shit.
either buy the high end, you buy on the high end for this PSN Plus stuff, and just accept it for what it is, because you just don't want to play on PC. You don't want to like get into turning it on, doing all the whatever little mechanics. You just like the console, or you invest and don't deal with paying the amount that you're talking about, right? You know what I mean? Like $720 like a
Damn.
year. That, like, I mean,
Not
that's
a
probably
year.
somebody's
For
rent,
over 6
but-
over 6 years. Over 6 years.
Oh, still, that's somebody's rent for at least 1 month,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, listen.
So that, or,
Look, sorry I'm not
I'm good.
as involved, but yeah, listen. The other day I noticed that my Xbox renewed itself, like its yearly subscription last month. And yeah, that's not being played.
Yeah, you're
And then for PlayStation to go up to 70, I'm questioning if I should even get a PS5. Like,
Yeah.
I could just go to my brother's house and play on it. And that only happened because they put that extra one level up so that you can play those free games. And it's like,
yeah.
but you were already giving us
Well,
PlayStation Plus games.
Yeah.
free.
remember, you're getting the exclusivity.
Yeah, there's a value you can put to dollars that you're getting out of it, but it's like that's if you're playing that many games. Some months
you're
you might
finishing
not
them in
be.
time.
Yeah, some months you might not be. Some months you might be busy. You might have shit to do, and you're not playing as much. That's why it drives me crazy because I'm like, everyone's got a schedule. Everyone's on some shit. So I'm like, bro, like I would rather not pay for having those services or for being able to have that service, while I was like, I'd rather be on a platform that just gives it to me, which is why once again, like for me, PC's just, it makes more sense.
The only justifiable reason is if I pay the $160 and I'm getting access to new games on release, and I can play them for X amount, like, you know, maybe
Yeah,
they're released on there
they
for
wouldn't be
like
able to
maybe
make
a
enough
week,
money. That'd
which
be crazy.
exactly. So I'm like, there's no reason for me to, unless I'm playing games that are like a year old or something like that. It's just not worth it. And yeah, Xbox did get rid of their Xbox Live Gold and only do Game Pass now.
Yeah, it's
which
Game Pass.
I don't even know how much that is, because like they're in like works with Epic Games and, you know, the Epic Store, and so they got this whole, you know, system. But I feel like they've given more.
Yeah, I think between the two I think Game Pass might be a little ahead there, because also there's integration with, like, if you have Game Pass for Xbox, you can use it on PC, on a Windows PC, and you can then still play Game Pass on your so it's like there's a value like you can get out of it. But yeah, it's
Oh
yeah, it was just
you're gonna like this.
it was just a thought process.
This shit is just crazy. I mean, like, if I was to be like someone who wanted to get into like, maybe not like fighting games, but just like gaming in general, for Xbox, it might just be the best option. You have the Game Pass for console only, which is $10.99. Then you have the Xbox Live Gold, so it still exists. Live Gold still exists, but that's $10 a month. Same thing as PSN. But then their PC Game Pass is $10, unlimited access to over 100 high quality games on PC, new games added all the time. Like, and then the Game Pass Ultimate is $17 a month, which is like you
Both.
get everything.
Yeah,
You get gold, you get all that stuff. So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they seem like they're doing it right, but it's still like, if you add it all up,
yeah. So that's
maybe it's
that.
just better.
This was just a segment that was supposed more of a PSA for all our listeners. Just your thoughts on it, because it's been on my mind for quite some time. Where, like, PC, you know, because there's still that argument that we have in fighting games about PC versus console still. It's going to be like that for quite some time until mass adoption happens. But yeah, I just know chalk another one for the PC side where it's like we don't have to pay for going online, which, like I said,
That's
think
great.
about how long we play. If I were to do that from the rip, which we've got our years, especially early on with 360, right? And like we know when the games, dropped in 2009, imagine the amount of money you've been paying to stay online all this time. Like,
Real quick, we actually got off scot-free because remember that law was supposed to pass for online streaming services, internet to be online streaming services where we would have to pay for the internet. We actually fought against that, and that saved PC users from being like console users. We had to pay monthly to actually, have the internet like that for any games. So, hey, we won. All right, we won in that situation, but we're seeing it.
I was gonna say, and there's
The
other
Mortal Kombat
battles,
situation,
and then there's
Yeah.
other things to fight, like the regional. Like I was actually not gonna go too deep into it, but yeah, also the regional price is just a whole other mess.
I'll just throw this last thing out there because we're still fighting game podcasts. Mortal Kombat not being crossplay yet hurts the community more than anything because now you're forced, because the consoles are going to be where they force people to play competitively. So at the end of the day, if you're playing on PC, you're going to get some tournaments, but they're not going to be prioritized because Sony, Mortal Kombat, Evo, stuff like that, they're going to try to cater towards, most TOs are going to cater towards what everybody needs to be playing on.
Mass
which is probably
adoption.
gonna be console.
Got to get the most amount of people in.
Sure.
That's what we got to do. We got to sell them tickets. Can't blame them. There's a cost to all this stuff. But yeah, so with that, guys, actually, we are going to be calling it. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us for another episode of Double Tap. Let us know what you think about that whole PC versus console rant when it came to the online services. Am I tripping about it, or